You know how when an artist is about to drop a new album, there's that first single that starts off the whole new era, that one song that they or the label will pick, which is usually, not always, but radio friendly and sets the vibe of what to expect on the new album. But sometimes it wasn't always the right choice. Like, you'll listen to the rest of the album and there'll be that one song, or there could be other songs that clearly had more potential to be a big hit and should have been the lead single instead. Like those hidden gems that make fans go, wait, why wasn't this the first single? Or this should have started off the new era instead of the one that was chosen to be the lead single. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some songs or a song from a specific album that, in my opinion, I think would have been a better choice for our first single, like Emotion by Carly Rae Jepsen, a classic that still sounds amazing to this day, and an album that deserved way better than what it received, though it did get some good reviews, so at least it got something. But in terms of the general public, I think this album should have just gotten a bigger response. So the lead single was I Really Like You, which peaked at number 39 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts, and at the time Carly was managed by Scooter Braun, and he told her that he couldn't release anything that wasn't at the level as Call Me Maybe. He pretty much wanted to match the success that song had, and the thing is, that's such a terrible goal because you're not always gonna reach what that song got. Like, sometimes you could even still have a great song, but having such a global smash hit like that isn't always guaranteed you're always gonna have that, even if you try to replicate a song like that, which I'm not even surprised. It's Scooter Braun, so are we really surprised he told her something like that? Runaway with Me should have been the lead single. It just made sense. I mean, when you hear that song, when it starts with the na 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 na, like that, was it that saxophone? You know how when there's a catchy song like Call Me Maybe, the chorus is very catchy, right? And it stays in your brain and it's easy to remember. And I feel like Runaway with Me, it had that impact just with that sound, and also that chorus. It's just so energizing. Like, it feels so freeing when you hear it. Like one of those that you need the volume up, you need to have the windows down and just sing it loud, and just like you just feel, it just feels fun. It's like when you hear Teenage Dream or Bad Romance, you just feel so fun and freeing. And I think that, like, to me, I think Runaway with Me matched Call Me Maybe. Like, it just had that. It just, maybe it didn't seem like it, at least to him. I don't know, I'm curious. I wonder what song she would have thought should have been the first single. I always wonder that. Like, if anyone's watching that interviews or maybe can ask her this, what song did she think should have been the first single? For me personally, I think Runaway with Me just made sense. It's a perfect pop song, nicely written, greatly produced, it's memorable. That should have been the lead single. Witness by Katy Perry. The lead single was Chained to the Rhythm, which peaked at number 4 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. For me, when I first heard this song, it did not hit for me. I don't know, I just wasn't really feeling it at all. But then when I saw the video, it changed my whole perspective and I loved it. And then when I started reading comments from fans giving more context of like the messaging of what was shown in the video, I just loved it even more. When I think of this era, as we know, like, it was mixed. People either liked it or didn't, and the general public was not feeling this album at all. And I also read that the 2016 US election had impacted the album. It probably also impacted the choices of what song should have been the first single. I think I would have picked, I want Roulette to be a single. I don't know if that makes a good lead, but that should have been a single at one point. If Roulette was the first single, maybe it would have been received better. Another lead that I think could have been is Bon Appetit. I always felt the song was just better with just Katy on it. Lover by Taylor Swift. Me was the first single. It got mixed reactions, but regardless, it did peak at number 2 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. How come Cruel Summer wasn't the first single? I mean, that was such an obvious choice. That bridge, that chorus, the production, it made sense. This should have been the first single. And Me did eventually grow on me, but I always wondered when I hear this album, like, Cruel Summer should have been the first single. During one of the shows that Taylor did for her Eras tour, she did tell the audience that there was plans to make Cruel Summer a single.
And I was finally about to have my favorite song become the single off of Lover. And I'm not trying to blame the global pandemic that we had, but that is something that happened that stopped Cruel Summer from ever being a single.
That plan, it was all stopped because of that, which is understandable, but at one point it was going to be a single, so that's the point of me saying that. Of course, years later in 2023, the song got justice and it peaked at #1 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. So at least we don't gotta think about the alternative timeline where that song never got justice and it was only known within fans, or at least the fandom. Oh my god, I'm just realizing, you know how Runaway with Me by Carly Rae Jepsen, I hope that song has a resurgent, is that the word, like Cruel Summer did, or Running Up That Hill, or Bloody Mary. I hope it has a moment like that, because that song is just so good. If there's one Carly Rae Jepsen song that I really hope has like a big moment and goes viral online, I'm hoping it's that one. Maybe it'll go #1. It should go #1. It's such a great song. So there's Joanne by Lady Gaga. Perfect Illusion was the lead, peaked at #15 on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart. So when this song was released, there was a divide as well as the album. So when I started to think about, because this album, at least to me personally, it had songs on here that could have been singles, and I think those should have been chosen first. Well, not first, but like earlier. She did have A Million Reasons, which did really well, and I'm pretty sure if she would have went with a different lead single, it wouldn't have made a difference of, you know, the mixed reaction that the album got. The songs that I think would have been, I guess, good as a lead single is Dancing in Circles and John Wayne. John Wayne really did make sense. It wasn't a single, but it did get a video, unless it was a single somewhere else and not in the US. Dancing in Circles, even John Wayne, it feels more like a second single. So I decided to go with AO, I think, because it was a second single, and that song, I mean, it kind of gives you an idea what to kind of expect on the album, and it has country pop and it's fun, it's upbeat, and it did peak at #66. So just, you know, judging on that, I don't know if it would have done any better if it was the lead. I think it would have done better if it was the lead single. Chromatica by Lady Gaga. So Stupid Love was the lead single, and I did do a video about the original concept that was scrapped for the music video, which you can watch right here. So I'm noticing the comments in that video, and even just comments in general, like on Twitter or even on TikTok, I noticed there's been mentions of like Alice, that it would have been a great single. So I think I'm gonna go with that one being the lead single. It just, you know, Alice in Wonderland, going into another world, because you know how Chromatica, it had its own world and she had all these plans for it. Of course, COVID happened, and unfortunately a lot of that got, you know, we couldn't see a lot of that, but we could see it like on Rain on Me and even on Stupid Love in the music video. So I also think that Alice would have been a great lead, because it kind of takes you into this journey of like, I'm in this other dimension, and then you kind of just see the world building more and more of just the different tribes and stuff that we see, like from like Stupid Love and even Rain on Me. I think that would have been a great introduction into that. Radical Optimism by Dua Lipa. Houdini peaked at #11 on the US Billboard Hot 100 charts. So some people were saying that it reminded them of Future Nostalgia, which I think the album, right? And even this song when it came out, regardless of what people thought, it still did well. When I do hear the song, it does feel like a lead single, but I started to wonder, like, maybe there's another song that would have been a better lead. So when looking into the track list, I thought Illusion would be a great lead single, so that song did get the single treatment. And then another song that I think would have been great as a lead would have been Falling Forever. You know, when it comes to a song like that, it just showcased her vocals in a different way that I don't even think the general public really knows. So that's why I think it would have also been a great choice to pick, and it's also something different too, not just vocally. So do you agree with my choices for the lead single for these albums? And if not, what's a song from these albums that I talked about that you think would have been a better lead? And also, is there a song out there that you think, and it could be from any album, that you think should have been the lead single instead of the song that was chosen to be the first single? You can share it down below in the comments. If you liked the video, don't forget to leave a like and also subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you later.